Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another round of trailer relaxtions. Relaxtions. It's reactions. Nintendo drop, shadow drop, stealth drop. I don't know how they dropped it. I don't know if what type of drop it is, but they dropped the Switch 2 trailer. The first look, the first official trailer for Switch 2, and I had done my best throughout the entire day, avoiding spoilers, but unfortunately, I got tragically spoiled by the thumbnails, revealing what the Switch 2 looks like. And let me tell you something, everybody. I'm very shocked. I'm very shocked indeed because Nintendo has the reputation of using last gen tech in their consoles, and I think they've taken it a little too far here. I mean, seriously, they've really taken this too far. Now, we've been tolerating them using last gen tech all these years, but never in a million years would I ever thought that they would go and use tech from the 1960s in their video game consoles. I mean, just look at the Switch 2. This is horrible. I mean, how are we supposed to move this around and everything? I mean, geez, Nintendo, this is the best you could do for last gen with your last gen technology console. I mean, look at this. We gotta get that machine to move the arm around to grab the cassette and move the cassette down onto the whole thing and back. I mean, what were you thinking? And then how many spool reels are we gonna be able to require in order to play Legend of Zelda, the next Zelda game? I mean, geez, Nintendo, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Last gen technology, come on. You need to get with the game here and start using new gen tech. Okay? I mean, jeez Louise. I'm disappointed in you, Nintendo. Disappointed. So let's get a good look at that trailer. Straight from Nintendo itself on their website. Very straightforward, very simple setup they got going here. Just one whole big blurb going on. Oh man, I am very stoked and excited for this. An update from Nintendo. I like how it says Nintendo. An update from Nintendo. Watch trailer. Ooh. YouTube. Is this really on 1080? There we go. There's the Switch. Right here. Ah! It's broken! Oh my gosh, he already broke the console! Why, Nintendo? Why? Yeah, it's the same setup as before. Oh. Okay. What? Oh, you're trying to show off that don't break easily. I gotcha. Yes, it's a lot longer. Oh, my hands. Thank you. Man, this is the most Nintendo thing they could do in their trailer. Okay. So, oh, trying to be all sleek, huh? So it's a little bit long. Oh, no more sliding in. You just click it in. 2, dos. I would have been cool if it stopped there. I would have been so cool if it stopped there. Sorry, that seems to be loud. Mario Kart. Here's our sizzle reel. We got Mario Kart. Oh, I like the on the docking station. But oh, that's a new Mario Kart. Mario Kart 9 in 2025. What? It plays Nintendo Switch 2 as well as Nintendo Switch games. April, there. Oh, the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, nice. And all around the world, the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. Oh my gosh. That's how you sell. That's how you sell. That's how you sell a console. We all been. Everybody was screaming for Mario Kart 9. It's like, here's your Mario Kart 9. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Let's watch this again. Let's do this a second time. Oh man, this is so cool. Take two. Or maybe run it two. Who knows? Man, I just love how they showed the evolution. Like how it always looked before. So it's a little bigger. They made it a little bit more sleeker. Oh, I see. They gave it a little bit more grip on the surface, because instead of being smooth, it's a little bit more. I like the new thing, and I just love that they bent it backwards so it'd be like, no, it doesn't break. They solved that. Bigger controllers. Much thanks. Excuse me. Look at that. Man, the music presentation is great. And those are the eject buttons. I just noticed that. I think that was what the eject button. I like that it just snaps in like that now. No more sliding track issues. Switch to. They could have just left it at that, but man, they just went the extra mile here. And the fact that this just showed freaking Mario Kart 9. That is just sweet, yo. Like, that's all they had to show is Mario Kart 9. And it looks awesome. Jeez. That looks like, is that 10? That is definitely not 1080. That looks, did they pull out 1440? Alright, let's pause here. Play some Nintendo Switch 2 game exclusive games as well as Switch games. Harkening back to the days of Game Boy. Switch 2 plays both physical and digital Switch games. Certain Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Switch 2. Details will be shared on the Nintendo website at a later date. You know what? It may not. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't have the VR capabilities. They could have taken that out. Oh, and there are some games too. Oh, see, I didn't even take notice. But did they show the IR camera? Because if they don't have the IR camera, there are some games that require the use of the IR camera. Not a lot of games, but like games like, for example, the stupid box game, that stupid box thing that they came up with. You know, the cardboard. You know, the that whole cardboard thing. That shows you how not very good product that was. I can't even remember its name. That do-it-yourself construction box kit that they would sell, that Nintendo sold off, that had the piano, the VR, the driving wheel, because that requires the IR in order to do it, and because they increased the size of the Switch controllers, it may not fit in there. And they need the IR sensor to be able to read off the stickers that you put on it to indicate that there's movement and such going on there. So I can't even remember the name of the stupid thing. No, here I can find. Let me see here. Grambo, jeez. Hold on. Do I have that? No, I have the virtual reality. I just can't remember the stupid name. Box something. But you know what I mean. Screw it. You know what I'm talking about. that cardboard box thing that Nintendo came up with, where you get to create the things. That it needs the IR sensor, is what I'm saying. Okay, is what I'm saying. It's not gonna work, and I'm sure there's a few others that might not be able to work. Unfortunately, those of us who have the that special little accessory from to play games vertically, it's not gonna fit in that because that thing's bigger now. The Switch 2 is bigger, so playing vertical games in vertical mode is going to be a little bit more difficult. Let's see here. So there are certain things that that's not going to happen. So we got a Switch. So we got the Nintendo Direct Switch 2 happening April 2nd. April 2nd. My gosh, that's too far away. It's too far away. The Nintendo Switch 2 experience, hands-on events held around the world. Okay, so I'm sure, given that I'm in, I'm sure if I go to Nintendo World Store in Rockefeller Center, they're gonna have the Switch 2, both on display and available. I can see that. I definitely probably have a chance to get a hands-on that one. Okay, so all right then. So, everything was perfect. Everything they did in this trailer is perfect. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the show. I can edit it. How you doing today, Mayan 518? Just finished looking at the whole trailer here, so about to get my assessments here. Let me just get my thoughts together. Well, let's see. All right. Everything about this trailer is right. No talking. No showing of things like Netflix or some form of subscription based service. No showing of Nintendo Switch Online. Okay, they showed us the console. They show us the Switch console, the original, and then they show how it evolved. And I love how they put this like on this, like they were showing what changes they made. Everything's a show, nothing's a tell. They're not spotting up, words or blurbs or anything. They're showing us everything that we're familiar with on the console, but and then they showed us what they did new, like this stand here. I find it very hilarious that they bend the stand all the way back because that was a big controversy when I think it was a YouTuber, some YouTuber accidentally broke this stand off by accident. It was like a freak accident, snapped the whole thing off, and everybody started panicking and screaming. And Nintendo was like, okay, that's high on the top priority list. Make sure the stand doesn't snap off. And I love that the stand can can go all the way back with no problem. That's a near perfect 180 right there. Very clever, not showing what the sides will look like. This was definitely an improvement. Made it just a little bigger. I don't know if that still helps the hands. I still don't know if that helps out the hands when we play it that way. But a larger size is good. Is a very good thing. But it's still the same issue, with at least the right side of the controller because you got that whole big gap there. That open space, that exposed space. Looks like they kept everything that we've seen, but they added this extra little dot there. I wonder what that button is for. But the home button, the screenshot button, they're still there. Everything about it is still there. Everything about it is still there. They added an extra little button there. Very curious what that does. And then they gave them all nice little color highlights. That's pretty cool. We got ourselves another button here and a button up there. I guess that's probably nothing. Probably just something like a stand or something. I'm not sure. But this one does. But I didn't catch on to the fact that it didn't have the rails, any type of rail, like here on the Switch. They have the rail on the side here. I didn't even catch that little part there when I was watching it first. But everything about it is still the same, but it's like they just improved upon it. They improved upon everything that worked with the Switch, and they put a few extra caveats to it. Yeah, hopefully there won't be no Joy-Con drift. Please, no Joy-Con drift. I like how you could sit them on the side like that. But yeah, I don't see the IR anywhere on the. Is that it? The IR camera is on the right controller. It looks like they don't have the IR camera on the thing anymore. Yeah, it looks like they took that out. Yeah, they took it out because here's the right controller. Yeah, I think they took out the IR camera. So yeah, anybody Nintendo Labo. There we go. If you have Nintendo Labo, which requires the IR camera to be able to use it, or any other game that does IR camera, you're not gonna get it. You won't be able to get to play those games because Nintendo said not all Switch 2 games, and Labo's gonna be one of those because you need the IR camera. Aside from the fact that the controllers are more longer, so they're going to be hard to fit into your Labo, the fact that I don't see any IR camera on there means that they took that feature out. And that means that you can forget playing Labo. You're going to need your old Switch for that. If you want to enjoy things like virtual reality. If you want that virtual reality experience with Neon Wall and select first party games that are still. This is such a great presentation. I like that they plopped it down like that, so it shows that you can sit it on its side like that. It's not wrong to do. I wouldn't say so much wrong to do. I think that's convenient considering that the sides are curved. Since the top part there, the sides here are all curved out. They gave you a safe means to sit on the side. It makes perfect sense. It looks like they improved upon that because it does have that indentation where the buttons are at right here. But it looks like they made it a little bit more pronounced, so you can be able to sit it like that with no problem on its side as a convenience. That makes perfect sense. Mm. What else did they do here? And it looks gorgeous too. Let me tell you something. It really does look gorgeous. Did that just get disconnected? Let me see here. Oh, I see. Oh, I didn't catch on to it. I see the cords now. It's these guys here. It's these guys. But they gave them that a little bit more flatter surface rather than curvature, so that way you could sit them on the sides. Got it. Now, okay, I didn't catch that because I didn't see the straps on there. I didn't see the straps on there, and then that's when they detach, and then you got the. Okay, I got it now. I got it. I didn't catch on to that. Oh man. And then this was just so mind blowing. No more rails. That means no more accidentally swapping. Putting the controllers in the wrong way, and then they get stuck. Remember when that happened in the beginning? They solved that one, and I like this better. Just click it in like that. I wonder how well it sticks in though, because the big difference was that the rail, the odds of you, I guess the rail would wear out too over time when you go like this. I guess it's unavoidable, but I'm sure Nintendo. Oh, there it is. Okay, all the way up on the top there. You see that little slot? Okay, now I see. Okay, that's where it locks in. That's the lock in, which means you would press a button to release it, the release button, and then you pluck it out from the side. Nintendo, okay, I got it, just like that, and then you just snap it in. And this one, oh, oh, I'm a little disappointed. I'm thinking that that's the lock-in, but it's not. That's just saying that that's the minus side, and that's the plus side. So it's letting you know which. Okay, dang it, man! I thought it was something cool, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, but it turns out no. Wow, that is so sleek. So samey. It's very samey, and that's all Nintendo needed to do. They didn't need to overcomplicate it, reinvent the wheel or anything, because they always reinvent the wheel. They always reinvent the dang wheel. You know, they're always reinventing the dang consoles. Man, imagine if they would have just called Wii U Wii 2. You know, jeez. But man, this is so simple, so ergonomic, very sleek, and most importantly, it's the same. It's the same thing, and we're all visually. It's great visually because we're familiar. We're familiar with it. Everything is in the same spot as they showed it. All of the stuff is here on the top. Everything is here at the bottom. Everything that is familiar is there. So when we buy the Switch 2, we can navigate it so easily with no trouble at all. We won't have to figure out what's what. So for us who are already veteran owners of Switch 2, of the Switch 1, we could be able to navigate with relative ease. We'll be veterans basically, and newcomers won't have any hard time trying to figure out what's what, because everything is very straightforward and simple. I still like to know what that bottom button is there, that bottom right button, and yeah, and two, perfect logo. Perfect. The logo is so perfect. Like, my gosh, man, this is the most perfect logo Nintendo has ever done. Like, they didn't. I'm so happy they didn't reinvent the wheel. I'm glad it's not a U. I'm glad that's not a U. Thank you, Nintendo, for not renaming it or anything. But it's such a genius logo. It's the same old logo. Yes, it's the same logo, but they just put a 2 right next to the Nintendo Switch emblem, and that's it. The Nintendo Switch symbol. It's definitely iconic at this point. Now it's what you call iconic. Whenever we see that logo, we know that's they mean the Switch, and you only had to put a number next to it. And I like that they did it this way, because it still says Nintendo Switch, even though it's got the 2 on it. Even though it's got a 2 on it, it still says Nintendo Switch. So it ensures people, when they see it, it says Switch, they know they're getting the Switch. Of course, they gotta make sure they pay attention to the 2, because thankfully Nintendo made the 2 big. I like that Nintendo made the 2 very big, so there's no way you could get confused. But yeah, they could have put 2 right next to the Nintendo Switch as well. They could have done that too. You know what I'm saying? It would have said Nintendo Switch, and then next to Nintendo and Switch would be 2. But I see why they didn't do that, and that's because they're trademarked. They don't have to spend another thousands of dollars to redo the trademark on Nintendo Switch. So it was very brilliant. And I'm glad they didn't do that, put a 2 on the side of the word Nintendo Switch, because we just have to call it the Nintendo Switch. Sure, we're going to call it a Switch 2, but we're still going to simplify it to just Switch. You know what I'm saying? Or Switch 2, or something like that. You know, but don't worry, the internet knows how to shorten it down, and Japanese owners will definitely shorten that down. but yeah, at this point, if Nintendo stays on the Switch the way with the moving forward with every generation, like Sony did with the PlayStation, you know, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, all they just gotta do is just change the number. That's it. All they gotta do is just replace the 2 with the 3, replace the 3 with the 4, and that's it. That's all they gotta do, and just make the system more sleeker as time goes on. They don't have to do a dang thing. But I'm just glad. I love the way this trailer introduced the Switch and everything. Nintendo didn't, and And Nintendo, and yes, not for nothing, but yeah, Nintendo didn't need a presentation or anything. We all know what the Switch does, and Nintendo's making it clear. This is still the same Switch. This is still the same Switch. You know what I'm saying? But this is now more a more this is the next step, like PlayStation 2. You know what I'm saying? But Nintendo got a winner here. Now, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. And I need to and think about this. Sony throughout the generations from PlayStations 1 through 5 had to change the look of their console constantly. Nintendo didn't change the dang look of the Nintendo Switch at all. They kept the look exactly the same as the old Switch, but they just made it a little larger. They just made it a little larger, and that's hilarious. That's what's hilarious is that Nintendo didn't change anything about the whole screen or anything. They just made it more larger. They made it look a little more sleeker. Um, yeah, Nintendo did nothing except the architecture. That's all everybody was asking for from Nintendo. We were all telling Nintendo, you don't need to do much, just update the architecture. Oh man. Oh man. Excuse me. Switch 2. That's it. That's all you needed was just that. Oh man. And it looks gorgeous. So gorgeous. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Um. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Trigger buttons. Oh my gosh, Nintendo added trigger buttons. Are those trigger buttons or are those either those are trigger buttons or those are the release buttons to release the mechanism. Please be the trigger buttons. Please be analog trigger buttons, actually. I hope those are analog trigger buttons. I'm wondering. Let me see here. If they're gonna be, they cannot be the release buttons. Those are too big to be release buttons, like on here. Um, hmm. Is it possible for these to be trigger buttons if done right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, yeah. So from my hand gestures here, if we were to go by exactly, if we were to pretend that the buttons are on the side like that, and those are actual trigger buttons, we could be holding it like this. We could hold it like this. I don't know. That might be a little too much. That could be a little too much if those are actual trigger buttons. But if those are the release buttons to bring out the Switch controllers, that's okay. I think that's a little too big. But if those are analog trigger buttons, it'll be very interesting to see how we'll be able to manage that. How we'll be able to manage that while playing, because then our fingers are going to be a little bit cramped up like this while we're moving the controller like this. It might not be what I think it is, but if it is, wow, that's going to be very interesting how that's going to be navigated. I'm sure it's just a release. And Mario Kart 9. Oh my gosh, this looks so gorgeous. Like, oh man, is this supposed to be 1440p? We're gonna have to find out about it. But look at the carts, man. That looks so cool. Looks so cool. Oh my gosh, and it's coming out in 2025 too. This is gonna be a launch title. Yeah, great way to sell, man. That's that's all Nintendo had to say. It was just like, you want a Mario Kart 9? Here's Mario Kart 9, and of course the controller itself turned it into an actual controller. And that's how easy that can come out too. They want to let you know that yes, you can even just pull it out. Man, the landscape looks cool. I guess it's gonna be like a Yoshi course, probably Yoshi Desert or something, since it's got Yoshi theme going on around here. And you could go in, and you could go into the burger, and then you got truck traffic. That the track looks big. Is it just me or is the track bigger? Wow, looks like the track is very big. Let's get more better look at Mario Kart 9 here. Although, watch them call it Mario Kart 8 2. Switch 2. Yeah, head on over to Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com and grab yourself a copy of Possible Man, a strange fantasy novel written by me. You'll find links to the description down below, along with links to other merch such as pins, stickers, t-shirts, music. Thank you for your patronage. Enjoy the products. And until the next set of trailer reactions, thank you all for joining me, and I wish you all a good night, a buenas noches, and oyasuminasai.